Welcome. I'm the Deadwood Jedi, and this is another Raid Shadow Legends video. I'm in my account again. We're still talking Doom Tower stuff right now, and today I wanted to take a closer look at Agreth the Nether Spider. Now, this one is a tougher boss than some of the other ones. Again, I'm going to show you how to do this with nothing but epic champions. So just so that you know, it is attainable. But this boss has some very unique mechanics that make it a lot more difficult to take on than some of the other bosses. And as you get higher and higher levels, it is really tough. Like, this is a hard one without some really significant, without like some specific champions to be able to use. Now, for this, I am using some pretty good champions for this. They're all epics, but they're pretty good. I bring in a Royal Guard. I bring in a miscreated monster. I believe I have Cardinal as well, in addition to, well, I got two other champions in there. But the point is that the reason why I have all these champions is for a very specific synergy. And that's what you guys want to be looking for when you're trying to, defeat these bosses, is find that specific synergy. I don't think this is the only way to do this with only epics and rares. In fact, I can pretty much guarantee someone else is going to come up with them. But this is the way that I found to work. In fact, I really want to make a point of not using Cold Heart in this video, of not using any turn meter reduction champions. Because this boss has a special thing. When you reduce their turn meter, he's going to hit you. And he's going to hit you for the amount of turn meter that you reduce. So I made a specific point not to bring any champions that reduce turn meter. It's not to say that none of them have it on some masteries or something, but that's like a small thing and a one-time only. But it's not in their kit. And by doing that, I'm going to show how we can just survive this. And I think that's going to be really useful for you guys. So let's go ahead and jump in the run, and yeah, we'll see where we get to. So as you can see, I'm bringing in Stagnite again, who I really do love. I think he's one of the best dungeon champions you can get. Now, I could easily bring in a different champion. Tayrell would be a fantastic choice for this. Not only would he be good to bring in, but he hits really hard. So it's a really good option, honestly. Another champion that you guys might want to look at, this is kind of like... this is like a Septimus Light. It's a little cheat here. I wish I built this champion up, but I'm pretty low on silver, and so I don't have the resources to do that right now. But Eris, a free-to-play rare champion, has a unique ability where when she kills somebody, she gets another attack. Another champion you might want to look at would be a Relic Keeper. Now, you're going like, why would I want these champions? It's not for the boss spider. No. This would be for the spiderlings, to take them out, because they don't have a whole lot of HP. They're fairly easy to kill if you can hit them hard enough. Like Septimus, obviously, can do that work. For Relic Keeper or Eris, it might be a little tough, but with one AoE strike to get it down, they might be able to go and finish it off. Eris also has a nice, unique ability where she can actually cleanse a little bit and increase your speed. So I think both of those might be really good alternative options, more free-to-play friendly options for you guys to choose if you so wish. But I don't have either of them up to 60 because I haven't liked either of them up to this point. But now maybe I will. That said, let's go ahead. We'll show you what I'm doing here, and you guys can judge for yourself. Now, I do admit I do have a Royal Guard. The reason why I have Royal Guard actually probably isn't what you think. Typically, you have a Royal Guard, and I'm just going to go ahead and let this auto to start. It should be fine. Typically, you have a Royal Guard not for the... not for the boss, not for the ads. I'm actually bringing Royal Guard here to nuke the side dishes, to get the little spiderlings out of the way. I think as soon as we get rid of those, it becomes a lot easier to deal with the main spider. So that's my goal with this, and it seems to work fairly well. Okay, now I probably need to take it off auto. So there you can see, he has a mastery that reduces cooldown. That's why we get that counterattack from the spider. And just so we remember, he attacks everybody and puts a poison debuff on them for 4 turns. It's really annoying. And every spiderling that comes up, he's going to repeat that. So it becomes, every time he spawns the spiderlings, we're going to get 4 poisons. It's very frustrating. Thankfully, we can cleanse those. The spiderlings all have counterattack and will attack when they get hit. So AoE skills are really dicey in this one. So you got to be careful when you're bringing those in. I have a Battle Sage, have to be very careful with that. And then every time we decrease turn meter, Agreth is going to counterattack and hit for 100 for amount equal to the turn meter. That ignores defense too. So kind of a frustrating, kind of a difficult, boss to go through. Has a really unique kind of kit. Can be really challenging. Now I'm bringing Cardinal here for revives. That's if somebody goes down, which is not unlikely to happen, she'll be there to bring them back up. We also have this revive on death ability from Battle Sage, really helpful. So I can put that on someone like my Royal Guard here, who, if they get that, could be pretty bad. We lose a lot of damage, especially taking down the Spiderlings. You're going to see right here what happens. So Agreth attacks, all the Spiderlings attack. Look at all those poisons that are being dropped on us right now. Now, I don't want him to die because I need him to help nuke. I need Miscreated Monster to give us a shield to protect us as well. So what I'm going to do, however, the most important thing is to make sure Cardinal doesn't die. Because if she dies, we're in trouble. We get a little ally protection on us, and we just have to survive. Cleanse all these poisons off. All of a sudden, we are in much better shape. I don't have the big AoE hit, so I'm not going to use anything else. I'm just going to A1 there with Royal Guard, and I'm going to do that with pretty much everybody. It's just about survival. I don't care how long it takes me. I just want to whittle these guys down. That's the goal here. That said, obviously we have Miscreated Monster. Now, Miscreated Monster puts up a massive shield, so even when those Spiderlings attack, it's not going to break our poisons down anytime soon. It's a great alternative approach to this. And we get a little stun out there, which is good. Here's where it gets dicey, right? AoE hits. All of a sudden the sensitivity goes up, but we're going to go ahead and nuke them all down. And that's why we have Royal Guard, just for that specific scenario. Now we can bring Stagnite back up. He can do his work here, and hopefully he'll survive going forward and get a little healing on him, or he doesn't die right there. He doesn't? Great. Great. Okay, he survived. Excellent. Next turn, hopefully Battle Sage will come back up. We can put Revive on death on him, or I can go right here, give him a little bit of protection, keep him in good stead. We get the decreased speed on, so the Spiderling's going a little slower, and we should be in good shape. Ally protection now is going to help us survive all of this. We can go ahead and do a little cleanse. Might be a little bit early, but that's okay. I think Battle Sage should get another 2 turns here before too long, and that should be all right. We want to make sure that we have that cleanse ready for when the Spiderlings spawn, because all those poisons are a massive problem. Same thing with Miscreated Monster and the shield. I want to save that for when the Spiderlings are there, so that actually gets the full effect of that. So obviously I haven't timed everything perfectly, which is going to be a bit of an issue, and we're probably going to see why in just a second here. So let's see. All right, we do have Revive on death. I need that on Miscreated Monster now. We lost Stagnite again. It's okay. And now we can get that shield out, and that shield's going to keep everybody alive. We got stuns galore, which is fantastic. He's going to heal himself, but he's looking pretty low, so we can go ahead and get that going there. Excellent. Only one Spiderling is still alive. That's fine. The other problem is obviously the Spiderlings heal Agreth, which is an issue. So I can bring in decrease. There you go. Nuke them all down. There you go. Perfect. One thing I can do is I can, of course, bring in decrease or heal reduction, right? It's actually a really great ability. But I need to be cautious of that, careful of that, right? Because I need to be able to bring something else in. This is one of the reasons why actually having a Cold Heart with this type of composition would be fantastic. Because Cold Heart does that. She brings heal reduction on top of poison, on top of the max HP shot. So it makes it a lot easier to actually kill the spider. So that's definitely one way we could go with things. We do have 2 turns. I think this should come back in time. So we're going to go ahead and drop that shield out there now just because it does some damage. And we're going to hopefully get 2 runs in here before, so Miscreated Monster will have that ready to go. We're going to go ahead and protect Royal Guard. Royal Guards are big damage dealers, so having that on them is really, really helpful. I'm a little nervous about Cardinal, but I think we're going to be okay here. Boom. I do need Miscreated Monster to get one more attack in there at some point. And yeah, so one of the things I like to, one of the ways I figured this out was, let me bring in some AoE attacks to take down the Spiderlings. If I don't have to worry about the Spiderlings, Agreth is a lot easier to deal with, right? I wanted to make sure I had a cleanse. Boom, right there. That was going to make everything a lot easier. So I wanted to focus on that as well. And then I just want to make sure everybody's doing A1 hits unless they're nuking those Spiderlings, like Royal Guard is right here. And he might not kill them all. That's okay. He's doing major damage to the spider dude right there. And yep, we finished him out. And now we're in much better shape than we were to begin with. Get that shield out. I would have preferred Miscreated Monster use that shield. That would have been the optimal choice, but we deal with what cards were dealt. But at this point, you guys get the idea. You can see exactly how I'm going through this. Let me take myself off of here. You guys can kind of watch me go through the rest of this run, and as I manual it, maybe speed it up a little bit for you. There we go. Done. I mean, it's not fast. Don't get me wrong. I mean, that what took 14 minutes? I mean, it's manual run, right? It's not super fast, but I don't have a cold heart. I don't have any turn meter reduction. I know Royal Guard on his A3 does a little bit, but like, there's no real turn meter reduction going on here. Not anything memorable. Obviously, I'm using good champions, to be sure. Miscreated Monster, I know, he's a Lego in an epic skin, right? Royal Guard's not too far behind that. I get that. But the point is that this is attainable even without like the crazy legendary champions. And I'm pretty sure most of you guys have those legendary champions. So there are champions at your disposal. Maybe they work for this, maybe they don't, but like I didn't have heal reduction. I probably killed that spider, 15 times over really, when it comes down to it. I think Reliquary Tender might be an excellent choice for this. Has the revive, has a cleanse. Those are really strong abilities. If I brought in, I could have brought in like a Jareg maybe instead of a Stagnite. Keep the decreased attack down, but also give ourselves ally protection and a passive heal that would help. Rearguard Sergeant, kind of a similar situation there. Tyrell would have been nice, that's for sure. He also brings some turn meter reduction, which, as we've seen over and over again, turn meter reduction still works on this guy. It just goes against the mechanics as he's designed, but there's a reason why you can still do it, Miscreated Monster's great with his shield, but Hope's a wonderful shield champion. Another epic shield champion that she puts up a massive one. So there's options there as far as champions you want to use. You don't have to use these guys alone. It's all about having a plan and a plan of attack. So if I could bring in someone that had heal reduction too, I definitely would. Coldheart is easily the best champion you want to bring in for this, even with the turn meter reduction. That's why you keep a reviver in there. Let her take all that turn meter and die. That's okay. Bring her back. That's part of the mechanics of this game. That's part of the design, honestly. Every time you saw them in the videos, that's a lot of what they were doing. So don't be afraid of that. Let's go ahead and look at the champions just so you guys have an idea of who I was bringing in, how I kitted them out, that sort of thing. Now, I was using some of these in the previous video, but I have my Cardinal. I was trying something for Arena. It didn't work. Honestly, I would not put my Cardinal in immunity gear. It doesn't help her at all. The poisons go through the immunity, 1. And then 2, like it's only 2 turns. That was a 14-minute fight. It's really doing nothing for her. I would probably try to pump up her speed. Now the defense and the HP, those are really good, and I do need her to survive. Whoever my reviver is has to survive. So that is definitely something I would want to bring in. Like, that's really important. That's something you're definitely going to want to have, whoever that is. Now, I had said when I first went over this one that Doom Priest might be a good option. I actually don't think she is. She only removes 1 debuff. It's not enough. You really need to cleanse all of them off all your champions. That's really the way you're going to benefit out of this, unless you only want to keep your reviver alive. So let's say you have somebody like a Raglan. Raglan's a great champion, right? Perfect for this, because not only does she going to boost your guys' turn meter when she's using her A1, but it's a 2-turn revive. That means Spiderlings kill your guys. Great. Bring them back up, Raglan. Way to go. Way to be, buddy. So if you have Raglan, this should be a piece of cake for you. But that's a great champion to bring in. So Battle Sage, I have actually, for the first time, I used Regen Set. Seemed to work really nice. But you can see she's pretty tanky. The speed is all the same for these guys. It's all right around that 180, 190 range. There's really no variation in there. My Miscreated Monster is a little faster. But yeah, you can see he's just HP heavy, everything else not. He does hit hard, and he is able to bring down those shields, which is really important. Like having not the shields, the Spiderlings, having someone that can do that, I've found to be pretty valuable. So not to mention the stuns that he puts out, that's really good too. So there's also that part of it too, right? If you can bring in some kind of debuff, stun, sleep, or stun or sleep. I think those are the 2 you want to bring in. Fear, True Fear, both of those work as well. But those would be really good options to bring on the Spiderlings to help keep them under control. So those are some things you can think about. Maybe put a stun set on those AoE champions. That's always a good way to go. Stagnite I showed before. I do have my Stagnite fast, but not particularly tanky. One of the reasons why he was dying so much. So my Royal Guard obviously is well equipped. Like my Royal Guard I use in my normal team. So he's obviously hitting super hard, but you don't, even if you don't have him hitting that hard, the concept's the same. He does his maximum HP damage thing to take down the boss, but it's an area effect thing which kills the Spiderlings. And that's the idea. I'm doing way overkill on those Spiderlings. So, bring him in, combining him with someone else that can do that, really, really useful. Now, if you have someone like a Septimus, he can whack those Spiderlings 1 by 1 just by himself. But it's important to get rid of them. That's the key. So whether you can kit a Eris out so that she can just go through those all on her own, that would be phenomenal. Or maybe a Relic Keeper. I think that's another great idea to do that. But these champions that can go boom, 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 boom. Every time I kill somebody, I get to go again. That's a really strong ability for this particular boss. So hopefully that was helpful for you guys. Hopefully you got to kind of see other ways to go about doing this. Like I said, getting rid of the Spiderlings, I think is very, very key. Obviously, if you can go a full nuke strategy, which I've done, everybody's done, that works great. Turn meter control works exceedingly well against this boss. It really does. But I know there's lots of videos out there for that. This is a different way to go about it. This is just like, I don't have those champions. What do I do? Go the other direction. You know, keep yourself safe. Revive your guys when they drop. Cleanse the stuns or the poisons on your team so you can keep going, and then protect yourselves. You know, that shield from Miscreated Monster, Sir Nicholas is going to do the same kind of thing for you. There's lots of champions that can do stuff similar to that. Unkillable ability is actually really good for something like this. Block damage is fantastic. I'm sure I could bring in a tower and have a field day with this one. I could probably bring in 3 Warcasters and do the same thing and just have them kind of alternating their abilities. Now, obviously, it's going to get a little wonky. It's not like Speed Tuning Clan Boss team, but the potential is certainly there. But if you put those guys in some kind of regen set or some kind of healing as well, they'll be full up when that comes around. Battle Khazar is really good for the cleanse, though his AoE skill is trash. Well, this is going to be annoying. Okay, guys, I think the gods are telling me it's time to wrap this up. Hopefully this helped you guys out. If you have some more questions about it, feel free to drop them below. I'll try to answer it as best I can. But hopefully this makes you feel a little better and gives you some more options as far as approaches to take. Because that's what it is. Get an approach and pursue it. That's the best way to take these bosses down. So, until next we meet, I'm the Deadwood Jedi.